Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. We're doing this live in front of the Friendos right now. And thanks, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Speaking of the weekend, me and my wife, Lacey, dropped our brand new ghost podcast called That's Not Scary. You can check that out wherever podcasts can be found and at youtube.com/That's Not Scary. We're not here to talk about the supernatural here. We're talking about wrestling. Larson,
well, I don't think there's any Undertaker in the news, so otherwise we could be talking about the supernatural, but not today.
He's a fake supernatural, though. In our podcast, we talk about real
kayfabe, brother. Kayfabe.
Kayfabe, brother. So what's in the news, Larson? What's going on?
So it seems like, the talk the last few months about a lot of potential matches that could main event next year's WrestleMania, Mania 37. Seems like it's going to happen in Tampa, probably, rather than Los Angeles. Of course, you got Sasha versus Bayley. If they play their cards right, that feud could extend to Mania, potentially main event. Of course, also a lot of chatter about Roman Reigns taking on The Rock at WrestleMania. That'd be a massive match. But WrestlingNews.co is reporting that there's another bout that you could add to list of potential Mania main events for next year, and that is Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. The site stated that, quote, a WWE source told us that things are still on track for Rousey versus Becky Lynch at a singles match at WrestleMania, and that match could end up being the main event. And WrestlingNews.co added that a source told them that, quote, Vince is hoping for Becky to be back in January or February to start the one-on-one feud with Ronda. Interesting little tidbit here. Ringside News, a site we don't mention a whole lot around here, had a report that has been subsequently confirmed by the ever-reliable Sean Ross Sapp.
Super reliable, fightful Sean Ross Sapp.
Yes. Said that Becky Lynch was backstage last Friday's SmackDown. So Becky is due sometime in December with her and Seth's first child. I kind of feel like having her back by January is like a really optimistic scenario for all Vince. Even just having her back on TV 1 month or so after giving birth, that's kind of asking a lot.
So the quote that I'm looking at here is Vince is hoping.
Yeah.
That is, like you said, a lot to ask. We are fathers. We know what our lovely wives and mothers everywhere go through when going through birth, the birthing process. This is what now. If Becky is determined to do this, it is possible. She's a world-class athlete. There are always the possibility of, and also she probably has access to like world-class healthcare. There is the possibility of complications that would literally, like, medically preclude her from doing this.
Yes.
However,
if she has to get a C-section for whatever reason, minimum recovery time for that is 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's just to resume like normal activity.
Yeah.
That doesn't include heavy training, preparing for a wrestling match, so on and so forth.
So it's possible.
Likely by February.
I'll believe it when I see it. If Becky is bound and determined to do it, there are no complications. Then yeah, it's possible. But if this entire thing is, and the fact that she was backstage at SmackDown, that's not abnormal. Her husband, are they married? They're married, right? Yeah, they're married. They're married.
No,
right?
I think they're just.
Are they just engaged still? They didn't get married?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Anyways, whatever. Her man, her dude, significant other, Seth. He's on SmackDown now.
Yes.
So
his first night on SmackDown is probably kind of a deal.
Yes.
It's probably one to be there for.
Sure, why not?
I wouldn't read too much in her being on SmackDown. I wouldn't read a whole lot into that.
But yeah, I don't know if she's talking to Vince, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna be ready to go. Then that's cool, good for her. All the luck to her. That's a big main event. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd love to see Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think it'd be great. I'm sure Vince wants to make the next WrestleMania sort of make up for last year's.
It's going to be huge.
WrestleMania.
As huge as he can make it. Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be, there's going to be way too many people in attendance, by the way.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of huge, another huge name could be nearing a WWE return. Get excited, Steve. What is this information? Please tell us.
Oh, man. The hottest star of the 1990s, late 1990s, for like 18 months or so, really. Goldberg.
Yeah.
Might be headed towards yet another WWE return. It seems like Goldberg's appearance as part of the Thunderdome crowd during the main event of last Friday's SmackDown was no accident. He didn't stumble into Thunderdome. Inside the Ropes is reporting that Goldberg's return on Friday was designed to give SmackDown a boost in the rate. I'll finish this, and then we're going to rip it apart. Was designed to give SmackDown a boost in the ratings for its season premiere episode, and with the view to putting some wheels in motion for Royal Rumble / WrestleMania season. That would suggest that Goldberg's going to factor into the future of Reigns or Strowman, and many people will no doubt hope it's not the former unless it's a squash job for the tribal chief. Inside the Ropes adds they've been told that Vince McMahon couldn't care less what anyone thinks about him using Goldberg, and that, quote, still believes there is value in the Goldberg name in WWE. If anybody over there, I sort of doubt that he was used in Thunderdome as part of the Thunderdome crowd to try to boost ratings. I know Goldberg was posting on social beforehand that he's going to be keeping an eye on that match, and people assumed that meant that he might be in attendance.
Well, yeah, here's the thing is if that was done to boost ratings on SmackDown, then they should advertise it. Like WWE should advertise it rather than Goldberg posting a vague tweet.
I'm going to call some BS on this. I don't think that they put him in the Thunderdome crowd to boost ratings.
Yeah,
I think that maybe
that we can agree with, but I think it would maybe use to build some buzz and potentially lay the groundwork for something down the line. Like if they're going to have, if they got hopes of having Reigns Rock at Mania, well, on the road to that, what if Reigns runs through Goldberg at the Rumble?
Yeah, they're thinking of the biggest deals for Roman Reigns possible. I mean, he's got this really fantastic story right now with his family member. But, you know, if you match him up against, I don't know, who's over there now? Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins is actually a pretty big deal. But, you know, if you're leading up to the Rock at Mania, you're going to need somebody that is in between top tier current roster and The Rock. And Goldberg fits that. He's a special. Undertaker fits that. I mean, look, is Goldberg going to deliver a great match? No, hell no. He's a bigger name than they have because they haven't built any stars. You can't dispute that.
Speaks to their inability to build up new stars.
Sure. He's a big deal. Do I want to see him? Hell no. Do you want to see him? Probably double that. That being said, he's a bigger name than they have. So yeah, this would be Night
by Night has a good scenario here. It says, what if Goldberg takes the title off Roman because of Rock's interference? At Mania, we get Rock versus Roman and the dream match of Big E versus Goldberg for the title.
I'd be into that.
Yeah, I'd be into that. I would be into that.
If Big E had his Goldberg match and he won the Universal title off him, not gonna lie, Steve would be into that.
I would be into that. That's a win for Big E at WrestleMania for the Universal title.
Dude, here's the thing. I buy into Goldberg because Vince considers him such a big deal. And when Vince considers somebody a big deal, it's always interesting to see how he uses that person creatively. Are the matches ever good? No, of course they're not. But it's interesting to see how they're used.
It can be, but here's the caveat where Goldberg decides, well, I need to protect my character that wrestles twice a year and pulls the creative control clause and beats the Fiend for no reason.
But here's the thing. That to me is fascinating. Do I want to see it? Do I want to see that kind of thing happen?
It's fascinating.
No, but it's fascinating.
It's fascinating from a behind-the-scenes perspective, but it's not so much from the creative perspective because it creatively makes zero sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But, that's like half of WWE. I got to pick and choose what I'm going to invest in emotionally. And Goldberg ain't going to be that. So it's going to be like, oh, well, Goldberg's here. Let's see how he's going to throw a wrench into the plans with, his creative control clause, which seemingly he has.
Yeah, he's got something.
He does. Hey, like him or not, appreciate his work or not, I kind of don't on both accounts. But if for some reason, somehow, he has stroke. He's been able to maintain his look pretty damn good, but kind of all that matters to Vince. Do you look like you can go in the ring? Okay, well, let's go out there then. All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Raycon. Hey, Larson.
Yeah.
I know that you love to keep up with the music. You're always listening to the freshest jams.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Whether I'm working out or just relaxing at home, I'm usually listening to music, and I found that the best way to listen is with a pair of premium earbuds, especially if I can get them for half the price of the other options, and that is why I chose Raycon.
Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact, comfortable design that gives you a great noise-isolating fit.
So whether I'm listening to music or recording a podcast like I am right now, my Raycons have become my go-to wireless earbuds. They're comfortable, sound fantastic, and unlike some of the other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are stylish and discreet. That means no distractions like stems or dangling wires while I'm trying to be productive. There's nothing going on right here.
This is no good.
You've probably seen celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Brandy, and Mike Tyson are obsessed with their products. Raycon also has a 45-day free return policy, so you can make sure they're the right pair of wireless earbuds for you.
And for a limited time, get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/raw. That's buyraycon.com. That's B-U-Y, raycon.com/raw for a special 15% discount on Raycon wireless earbuds. Make sure to check it out now while the deal's still running. Buyraycon.com/raw. You know what's rad, though? You know what's really cool? Dark Side of the Ring. You know what's even cooler?
Man.
Season 3 has been finally confirmed. Larson, what are the details?
Yeah, it's coming back. Vice announced today that the series' third season will get a 14-episode order. That's the longest yet.
Wow.
No official word yet on topics for the upcoming season, although we did a video where we pitched our ideas for it.
Come on, man. Search it right
Great
now.
ideas.
Dark Side of the Ring Season 3, top 10 ideas that we have.
Yeah. Recent reports have suggested, however, that episodes on Brian Pillman, Grizzly Smith, and WCW and New Japan's Collision in Korea show could be some of the potential subject matter we can expect to see on Dark Side of the Ring next year, although, again, no confirmation.
I can confirm this, though. Producer, what's his name? Evan Husney was on a radio interview program with our friend Baby Huey. And Baby Huey brought up our video to Evan and said, hey, these guys have 10 pitches for you. And he said, there might be some crossover there. So check out that video we did. And then, hey, maybe one of those ideas will end up in season 3. Listen, I want to be interviewed for one of the Dark Side of the Rings for the XPW Supreme Getting Lit on Fire.
Well, yeah.
We were there. We were there.
More than that, though, I want to be in some of the reenactments. I want to be out of focus playing somebody.
That's a lot to ask. Unless do we get to play ourselves at XPW?
XPW, we could.
Can we be out of focus?
Here's a chunk of fluorescent coming towards us.
Out of focus, exactly.
See Supreme lit on fire.
But it's out of focus, so there you go.
Out of focus, exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because I didn't have a. Did I have the beard then? I might have had the beard then.
2000. It was around. No, it predates the beard.
All right, because the beard was 2001.
Well, you could just ferment it so that you looked a little. I mean.
Well, no, I mean if I didn't have the beard, then I'd have to.
Oh, you'd stay true to form, huh?
No, wow. I don't know if I'd do that. If it's out of focus, what does it matter really?
Well, you could still tell if a beard is out of focus.
Anyways, we can kayfabe that. So this is the time of the show where Steve gets to gloat a little bit. Even though my prediction wasn't way off.
Not only did I get to bring home Big Red for my victory over you at the whatever the last pay-per-view was.
Clash of Champions, man.
Once
Took
again,
your sweet time coming, claiming your prize too.
Once again, looking into my tea leaves here, I was able to prognosticate the winner of this year's Go-1. That's right, New Japan's Go-1 wrapped up. The climax was this weekend. I was up late, and people were starting to say, "Oh, about to get in this final. It's Sonata, your pick, versus Kota Ibushi, my pick. Oh, the battle between Steve and Larson. Who would win once again?" God, I can't even count the number of times now I've come out on top. Kota Ibushi won the Go-1, and this is very exciting news.
It is. Second year in the row, he's won it. Third year in the row, he's gotten to the G1 finals. So now he has a briefcase that allows him to challenge for Tetsuya Naito's IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships at Wrestle Kingdom 15. They also announced that's going to be another 2-day show.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Switchblade Jay White did challenge Ibushi for his Wrestle Kingdom opportunity at Power Struggle. Also at that show, we're going to get Naito versus Evil again. I'm guessing Naito's coming out on top. Ibushi will probably come out on top. I don't know, man. I feel like a pretty good chance for Kota Ibushi to walk out of Wrestle Kingdom is all the champion.
It certainly feels that way. I could totally see that happening. I mean, when did they signed him, about a year ago? Was it more than a year ago now?
It was pretty much right after the Elite left.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, it seems like they've been, building them up. We had Trans Ibushi. I watched the beginning of this match because
Trans Ibushi was so great.
It was on live, but I knew, so it went 35 minutes. I think it was the longest climax, the longest final.
It's the longest G1 final ever. Yeah.
I watched the beginning of it, and it was just, honestly, it was. I don't say this in a negative way. I'll use the positive connotation of slow, which is methodical. It was just them walking up to each other, blasting the other guy. He recoils. He walks up to the other guy, blasts the other guy. I'm sure it picked up pace, but I fell asleep because I was just too anxious because I was like, I want my guy to win. I'm going to go to sleep so I don't have to suffer, humiliating defeat on my own here in my room. So yeah, that was cool. I was very happy to wake up and see that.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I'm a huge Kota Ibushi fan. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. So I'm not upset that he won by any stretch. In fact, I'd much rather have him win, go to Wrestle Kingdom main event, win all those titles, than have Sonata win just so I'm right. I like Sonata too. It'd be cool if he won. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd necessarily see Sonata going to Wrestle Kingdom and winning the belts,
Yeah, I'm not going to argue against Sonata because Sonata fans are fanatics. They love him so much. That's what I noticed on Twitter. And he's great. I'm not as big a fan of his as I am of Kota Ibushi, though. I think that guy is he is an alien. Like, you listen to his interviews and you see him in the ring. This dude can do stuff that no human can do.
Did you see the press conference stuff with him and Jay White? Where Jay White challenges him. He grabs a chair and sits up next to him, like across the table from him, and hands him a drink. And so the whole time, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw like a minute-long clip. And the whole time, Kota Ibushi is staring at Jay White, not breaking eye contact.
That's scary.
And so he has a drink in his hand, and he drinks down half, I don't know, it's like a beer or some sort of malt beverage or something. Drinks half of it while staring at Jay White.
I love it.
It's just like it's almost Trans Ibushi level of intensity.
Oh, I love it.
It's so good.
I love it. All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Hawthorne. Larson, I've been thinking about making some changes of late. I want to improve my self-care routine, man. Problem is, I don't really know where to start.
Well, Steve wants to take care of Steve. Check out Hawthorne, man. Hawthorne is a premium tailored personal care brand that's making it easy for guys to feel and smell their best. You just start off by taking a quiz.
Yeah, I'm already taking that quiz right now. They're asking me about what my favorite drink is, what I like to do on a night out, and how sweaty Steve is.
Oh, yeah. So it's really straightforward, yeah?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, and based on my answers, I got a bunch of cool personal care products, including some awesome mint-scented body wash that's really refreshing, and some soothing hand lotion that helps my hands from getting too dried out, especially this time of the year as the weather is getting cooler.
Yeah.
So, Steve,
Yeah.
if you want to upgrade your self-care routine, Hawthorne is a convenient way to get really high-quality products tailored for your specific needs.
Here we go. I just got me some deodorant, some shampoo, and some hydrating face cleanser, all suited to my personal needs. And Hawthorne offers free shipping on your order and returns. If you don't like your products, they'll even retailer them for you based on your feedback.
So do what we did. Take Hawthorne's quiz today and get started on your personalized self-care routine by going to hawthorne.co and use promo code GIR to get 10% off your first purchase. That's HAWTHORNE.co, promo code GIR, hawthorne.co, promo code GIR. Speaking of something that'll hopefully be good, Raw, that's going on tonight.
Yeah.
We got Keith Lee to clash with Braun Strowman. I'm guessing this will be another wonky ending because they'll have their match at Hell in a Cell.
Boy, give a shout out, by the way, because I have not had a chance to do this. Thank you for adjusting at the last minute, and Stevie Bradley, the enforcer, for coming on at the last minute.
Yes.
To hook up as my replacement for the SmackDown episode. So I watched the vast majority of SmackDown because I had nothing better to do. But it was Lacey's birthday on Friday. So
holy shit!
What happened? They
were drinking Zima.
Really? That's what my mom
That's pretty
drinks.
incredible.
That's funny. So thanks for that. But I watched most of SmackDown. I sort of caught, like, Lacey had come home, so we were doing birthday stuff. But I had one eye on Roman versus Braun. Did Roman just completely make Braun look like an asshole?
For the most part.
Okay. All right.
Braun got a little bit of offense in, but especially the beginning of the match and the end. Yeah, Roman, he made fairly quick work. It was like a 10-minute match at most.
Yeah. Man, that's funny.
The real captivating stuff was after the match when Jey Uso came down. That was great.
I saw that with the chair and stuff. That was really good stuff.
That was really good.
Yeah, I like how they had, like, Roman kind of half-mic'd, like a mic was generally in his direction. That was really good stuff. Yeah, SmackDown was pretty decent.
That was really good. Also on the docket for Raw, Raw Women's Champion Asuka defends against Lana.
Did you see the Lana, Weepy Lana video? She did a really cool little promo in front of her, like at her vanity or something like that, where she was like shoot crying, saying that Asuka represents all the people who are mean to her, on social media and stuff like that, all the people who don't believe in her. I hope they give Lana a really good showing tonight. I get the feeling she's going to get murdered, but metaphorically
it's not going to be a competitive match. I don't think it's going to be a competitive match.
But it might be. It might be. I like her showing some initiative and cutting this promo right here. Maybe it'll get back to somebody and they'll be like, hey, give her a moment. Give her a moment. Give her a moment. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Give her a decent string of offense.
And then she realized that Asuka is absolutely devastating.
Elias is promising a concert for the ages.
Oh, no, I'm not going to watch that. You're going to have to take notes. I'm not going to watch that. I don't want to see that shit.
Fine. I'll take
I can't stand that stuff.
Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse comes to Raw. That should be fun. And then will Drew McIntyre and Randall Keith Orton tear each other to shreds ahead of WWE Hell in a Cell? So this is Raw's go-home for Hell in a Cell. Also, an interesting little tidbit here. Fightful Select, go subscribe.
Should we toss kind of a spoiler alert here?
I'm not going to mention. I'm just going to say this could happen. I'm not going to name any names.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
So Fightful Select is reporting that we may, of course, things are subject to change, may be learning the identity of the SmackDown hacker tonight on Raw. Again, plans always change at WWE, so just because that might have been the case at one point, it could not be the case by the time the show hits the airwaves. Yeah. So again, not going to name any names, but we might find that out tonight.
Possible. All right, here we go. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
First up from Juan Guerrero Jr. By the way, we should also point this out, and I just mentioned this because Juan, of course, is plugged into the lucha scene.
Yes.
What's the name of there was a guy who was like 26 years old. Prince.
He was 23.
Oh, I thought he was 20. Let me still.
No, there was a correction afterwards. It was 23.
Oh, my.
At first, the reports were 26, and then I saw a correction that said he was 23.
Prince Aereo. Okay, so you say he's 23. Yeah. So he was wrestling for. Sorry, looking up. I'm just gonna get on TMZ here. TMZ has it. Arena San Juan Pantitlan in Mexico City. Oh, so during a Mexa wrestling event. That was the name of the promotion, I guess. Mexa wrestling. So yeah, it just looked like it was sort of a fluke heart situation where he was trading chops with a guy and then he collapsed and passed away. Just shocking and so tragic, so sad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a really sad thing to happen. Anyways, Ron Guerrero Jr., Mr. Triple Mania, says, if the original plan came to fruition and Marty Scurll became the Exalted One, how over do you think the Dark Order would be in comparison to how they are now? What would AEW have done with Brody Lee? The closest comparison I can think of, obviously, is what Marty did with Villain Enterprises. And I think he did some pretty interesting stuff with that. There still seems to be not a lot of info coming out about Ring of Honor and what they're doing with the Marty Scurll situation, given that there were some allegations about him during the speaking out stuff. But I mean, you know, we can talk about this a little bit. I think it probably would have been a lot different just because it feels like AEW gave Brody Lee sort of the ball to run with.
Yeah.
And what direction it takes. So this would have been a completely different thing.
Yes.
But, you know, I thought his stuff with Villain Enterprise was pretty cool from what I saw of it. So it probably would have been pretty decent. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been decent, but then we wouldn't have gotten Exalted One Brody Lee, and he's like one of the best things in all of wrestling. So
yeah, I have no complaints with the Dark Order. I think they're really, really terrific.
Oh, they're fantastic. The chemistry between Brody and John Silver, everybody else in the Dark Order is so good.
Yeah, they found all these guys who previously would have been nothing. You know, they all have personalities. They all have their own identities. It's really great stuff.
It's fantastic. B-Man, Patrick Sparks said, how would you get Rikishi involved in the Roman and Jay feud? So Hell in the Cell, Roman is beating Jey Uso all over the ring. Jey Uso's got the Crimson Mask going. He's bleeding a ton. Similarly to how Jimmy showed up at Clash, Jimmy shows up with Rikishi. You know, maybe Jimmy thinks, well, Roman might not listen to me. He obviously isn't going to listen to Jay. Maybe he'll listen to their father. No. Like maybe Roman lets him in the ring, lets him say his piece, gives him a Superman punch.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
You know?
Yeah. How about this? You just do a vignette at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up. And Roman just makes it really awkward for everybody. He does almost like sort of a Brody Lee in those early sketches where he's eating, like people aren't allowed
complaining about all the food, huh?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Roman channels sort of like a Vince type character as tribal chief at Thanksgiving. You basically you want to play it more for comedy than anything.
Yeah,
that's what I
don't know if that's really what they want to do with Roman.
Probably not. But it's what Steve wants to do with Roman. Demon Lord Ziffer, who eventually takes the IC title off of Sami Zayn.
Daniel Bryan.
I think Daniel Bryan's going to be... He says Aleister Black, but Aleister Black is a bad guy. So I'm going to think... I don't think it's going to be a bad guy taking it off him.
Otis.
That's a name that actually could... You know, I saw him... He shoved... That was a hilarious bit when Otis shoved Sami Zayn and they held too long on him. He was just like...
Oh, I know. That was great. That was fantastic. Brain Dead by Default, do you think that the spectacle of wrestling has suffered since the use of flash photography has kind of fell by the wayside over the years? So I remember some of Eddie Guerrero's and RVD's matches where they would hit the frog splash and almost look like live art with the flash. I know that's from sports in general, where you'd always have these great moments, whether it's in the wrestling ring, baseball stadium, wherever, where there'd be these huge moments, and when they would happen, everybody was ready and they'd take a picture and you see flashes all over the place. And it just, I don't know, it added to it did add to the spectacle of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the communal experience of it, because everybody wants to document it all at once. And I know now everybody's got their phones up and you can see, you know, everybody's got their phones up. There's something about the visual of the flashes is just something else. You know something important is happening when you see those flashes going off.
Yeah, I had not even considered that point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah. Giancarlo Fuentes. Giancarlo Fuentes. What do you think is the worst match ever? And how would you book it to make it the best match ever? So, I mean, in terms of being on a grand stage of some sort, even if it is, I mean, there was the match between, what was it? Was it like Charmel and
Jenna Marasco?
Yeah, TNA. But like, what's like a bigger? I mean, okay, so
Goldberg Undertaker.
You could consider that, given this the magnitude of the match. You could consider a Hogan versus Warrior. I kind of feel like Hogan Warrior is probably even higher than Goldberg Taker, because Goldberg Taker might have been serviceable had Goldberg not concussed himself before and during the match. If the ring post spot hadn't happened, if he hadn't banged his head into the door to hype himself up, which he had done plenty of times. Hogan Warrior 2 in 98 was two men who who never got on the same page with the match because of their immense egos. And the match is hilariously bad because of that.
I'll say this. If we're going to eliminate Undertaker Goldberg, I'll say DX versus Brothers of Destruction. Like 10 seconds into it, Triple H tears his pec. And they have to like ad-lib the rest of the match,
yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. I was thinking Attitude Era. Yeah, okay.
No, this is Crown Royal, one of them. And it's a disaster. An absolute disaster.
So taking this question even further, right? Eliminate matches like that, even where the participants are so far over the hill. Like, what's a terrible match? What's the worst match? That
I could make the point that the Ultimate Warrior had no business being in a wrestling ring come 1998 either.
I don't disagree with that. So what's a match that is epically bad that probably should have been good? Actually make for a good count-out episode.
That would. Like on paper, it should be really good.
Okay, so one that comes off the top of my head, we sort of talked about this in a 10 for the win. Shawn Michaels versus Vader at SummerSlam, where they were sort of not on the same page. And at one point, Shawn Michaels goes for a top rope elbow, and Vader doesn't move, and he's supposed to. And Shawn Michaels starts kicking a man who is like twice his size in the head and shouting at him.
Yeah.
That he was supposed to move during the middle of a match. He basically throws a fit. That probably should have been a lot better.
I'll say Brothers of Destruction versus Chronic.
Yeah, who could forget? Yeah, no, that's good because everybody's at their peak. And Chronic was like like this big deal that comes out of WCW. It's like you guys are supposed to be on par with the Brothers of Destruction. And you're just sort of trash.
Horrible.
Yeah. All right. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Keeps. Larson, you know me. I've always liked having hair as far back as high school. I've been wrapped up in my hair. So when I first noticed it getting a little thin up here, I panicked a little bit. But thankfully, there's Keeps, the simple and easy way to keep your hair.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 men, that's 66%, will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. But the best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some hair up there.
Yeah, now it's more convenient than ever. Back in ye olden days, you'd have to go to the doctor's office for your hair loss prescription. But with Keeps, you can visit a doctor online and get your hair loss treatment delivered directly to your door.
So find out for yourself why more than 100,000 men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. Keeps treatment start at just $10 a month, and for a limited time, you get your first month free.
So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/raw to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's KEEPS.com/raw.
Again, that's keeps.com/raw, KEEPS.com/raw. Noob and Company, do you think Charlotte Flair will manage Andrade if he returns to NXT?
No, that is so far beneath her. No. She would probably get a kick out of it, but there's no way in hell Vince would ever let that. You're a huge box office draw. You're not a manager.
Eric Kalunga Could the members of the New Day be top champions in, he says here, Xavier Woods in NXT, Big E on SmackDown, and Kofi Kingston on Raw?
It would take a level for it to really work. It would take a level of creative that WWE doesn't possess. Yeah, I think that they're all talented enough to be there. But I don't think WWE has the level of creative, and really like the commitment to them as a group to do something like that.
Greg Morris, outside of Undertaker, what wrestler is Vince's greatest creation?
I'm trying to think of somebody that like had Vince's handprints all over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan before he showed up.
This is the first name that popped in my head is Goldust.
Was that I don't even know the origins of Gold. Was that a very Vince thing, huh? That sounds right. That's a good answer. Because even like Scott Hall brought the Tony Montana, is that his name? Yeah, accent to the Scarface thing. He brought that to Vince. I don't even think Vince had seen Scarface. I think that's what he said. Goldust is a good answer. That's a good answer.
Some people here in chat saying The Rock.
I just don't know.
Place as Kane.
I just don't know. I mean, was The Rock a Vince creation, or was it just, hey, this isn't working, you need to go heel? Like, I don't know how much of The Rock was Vince McMahon.
Yeah, no. Because I remember listening to, it was Dustin talking, was it Talk is Jericho? I don't care. He was on a podcast I was listening to. He was on Stone Cold's podcast. I don't remember. But he was talking about going to meet with Vince, and they had the like the concept art for Goldust and all that, and like he had to be pitched on the idea of Goldust. Let's say that Dustin didn't bring things to the character that maybe Vince had imagined, but it seemed like walking into that meeting, it was something that Vince had thought of and was spearheading, at least from the onset.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, that's a good question though. Let's see here.
Nick, let's say Io Shirai actually loses her belt to Candice next week and gets called up. How would you debut her on main roster, and which brand would you send her to? I mean, SmackDown probably needs, like, their women's division got somewhat depleted during the draft. So in terms of who needs the talent of Io Shirai, it'd probably be SmackDown. That being said, I really want to see a match between her and Asuka.
That's what I was gonna say. You give her a Chris Jericho level debut against Asuka. That's what you do. Make her feel like a big deal. Can they just please do that? That's the major thing.
Is make her seem like she is a huge deal, because she
let her keep her damn music. Her music is so good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
NJWP, what Hell in the Cell match are you most looking forward to?
Probably Roman J.
I'll say Sasha and Bailey.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a killer match. Those are two killer matches. Even Randy Drew should be pretty decent.
What else? All the Hell in the Cell matches are actually like fairly motivated.
Yeah, right.
Makes sense. They really should just do the whole show in Hell in the Cell.
What other matches are confirmed?
I would not be surprised. Well, maybe I would at this point. Seth and Ray has been confirmed. There's only 3 confirmed so far.
Okay. All right.
All in Hell in the Cell. So maybe this will be a 3-match card.
Yeah, how happy were you that Seth Rollins debuted, or I'm sorry, Seth Rollins came out to challenge Daniel Bryan, and then how disappointed were you when Rey Mysterio's
roller coaster, man, massive roller coaster.
Right when you thought, oh,
no, I
clean
knew
slate.
better. I was like, well, they didn't draft the whole storyline over to SmackDown just to get away from it, you know.
Yeah, I do
thought,
hope.
hopefully they're planting seed for what Seth may do after he's done with Ray and
what I
Buddy,
hope.
because that's gonna
Yeah.
be two separate things. So come Rumble time, maybe we'll get Seth and Daniel Bryan. Nate Chive, should Jordan be a bodyguard for Hurt Business against Retribution instead of AJ?
So if
I believe it was Fightful Select, right, and said that Jordan might be AJ's bodyguard. Essentially.
oh, I had not heard. I didn't read that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rad. That's really cool.
That'd be cool.
Although I would prefer, what's his face, Abyss, Joseph Park.
Yeah.
I prefer him for AJ. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Like, there is also that rumor or that report. I think it was, God, who was it? No, it was WrestlingNews.co saying that Vince wasn't even huge on. Vince didn't like Raw Underground, but he was willing to give it a shot to see if it did well in the ratings. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they got to do something with Jordan. I'm kind of hoping that Shane sticks around as a manager or something. I know you're totally anti that.
I don't want him on TV.
I like Shane as long as the focus isn't on Shane, and have Jordan be his bodyguard.
Panda Police Club, Finn has to relinquish the NXT title. Who is next in line? Would they just be keeping the title warm for Karrion Kross, or do you think they can push someone else as their top guy? I mean, they still have top guys. They got Gargano. They got Ciampa. Either of them could just be champion, and people would believe it. Adam Cole's still there. You can put the belt back on him anytime.
Well, we did on Friendo Club TV. Available to
we power ranked all that.
$5 patrons and up, all Twitch subs, all YouTube channel members. We power ranked who we thought should be next in line for that title. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember what any of my options were at this point, though.
Oh, I don't remember. I have it written down here.
I went pretty far out of the box on a lot of mine, I think.
Yeah, hold on. I can review at least one of them.
Do you have any of yours right there?
Get through here. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Well, he's been hurt since. I think I had Kushida as number one.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's see here. No, these are all different episodes. I've got all these little note cards, all these little post-it notes. Sort of going through these.
My word.
Here's here's a drawing of a horse's head.
Oh, is that for Unsolved Mysteries?
Look at this. Oh wow, this is pressing. Look, it's my original prediction for G1, Naito Ibushi, and Ibushi is circled. Ibushi is circled. Let's see here. There's just some names of friendos on here. Here's one. All it says is hard drive. I don't know what that means.
Here, we got one more here from just trying to do something. Yes, 3 acting performances that are overlooked. Since this is our wrestling show and not Ask Steven Larson, what are 3 acting performances by wrestlers that were overlooked, Steve? I'm going to say Dave Bautista in Blade Runner, the sequel. He's not in it very long, but he's really good in it.
Dave Bautista in the trial episode of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, man. Should have got an Emmy nomination for that one.
What's your name? Doug. Who would do that to a child? They frame me. Yeah, Batista's like legitimately a really good actor.
Yeah, he is a really good actor.
Let's see here. I know I'm leaving somebody out. Was Ventura good in any of those movies that Jesse Ventura was in?
Well, I mean, he was just Jesse Ventura.
What's The Rock's greatest performance?
He's like the one decent thing about Southland Tales. I remember. I thought he was pretty decent in that movie.
I thought he was pretty good in that movie, man. I thought he was good.
The rest of the movies got awful, but he was pretty good.
I haven't seen all the Rock movies. Big Show in Waterboy.
Waterboy?
Captain Insano.
Well, he's just playing a pro wrestler.
Oh, John Cena in Trainwreck.
Oh, yeah. He and LeBron are like the only two good things about that movie. That movie goes on forever.
How is it you ruin, like, you have Bill Hader, probably one of the comedians of our generation, and like you're just using him to be like normal, like, guy. Bill Hader is so good. Have you seen Barry?
I have not seen that.
Holy shit, it's so good. Because he runs the gamut of comedy and just drama. Dude, he's so good in that show. It's really good. Adrian C says Bret Hart and Lonesome Dove. Oh, I forgot
I love that
about
still
that.
shot of him with the cowboy hat on there.
Yeah.
It's just like one of his wrestling 8x10s, just with a different costume on. It's great.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Nash. He's been in a lot of... I heard Kevin Nash is really good in the Magic Mike stuff.
I heard that, too.
I've never watched those movies. I've heard good things, though. I like Soderbergh. Let's see here. Over on the Discord, Tyler Woodward. When fans are allowed back at arenas in full capacity, what would be the first match you'd want to see? So is this assuming that we're there, or what match do we think would be the first match we want to see from our television sets?
So the first match, say WrestleMania 37, is like the first show that...
80,000 strong.
Yeah.
So many people. And it's all just... I really wish somebody could come up with a way where you could put a filter on like your TV.
Yeah.
And this filter involves changing everybody in the crowd into those models of how COVID spreads when you breathe and talk, and you get all the particles. And so everybody sits down and you just see like everything coming out of the nose, and then it just spread. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
I went to the store. No, where'd I go? I went to Target over the weekend, and there was like a good 30% of people weren't wearing their masks right. Just have their mouth covered, not their nose.
30%? Man, wow.
There's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot.
When I go to Winco, it's usually one idiot without a mask, and then everybody else is pretty normal. Like, they all have their masks on. Because Winco's the only place I go. That and the comic.
Yeah, you shouldn't go to, like, we just shop at Trader Joe's. Whenever I go there,
yeah,
like, everybody's got a mask on.
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing it correctly. Usually, might be one or two.
Yeah, I mean, that's also kind of another thing, dude. Is like when we were talking about the Becky Lynch stuff. I don't know that she would be down for that. Like, I wonder how many of the wrestlers are going to be like, "Oh, you want to put 20,000 people in this stadium?" I mean, a bunch of wrestlers are perfectly willing to sit out because of that stuff. So I don't know. Vince is going to have some splaining to do. Let's see here. Alex Foster. Any updates on Larson's music stream? When are we going to get music stream back?
I still have these. I have like a handful of themes left. I know I got Alex's still to do. I got that one. I got two other ones I got to get done.
I got to finish up. I have a small handful of the drawings to do, but I got to do them.
Like Tuesdays and Thursday evenings are like my only time during the course of the week where I have to work on this stuff in a protracted period of time. And then if I have to edit something outside of our normal workload, usually happens one of those nights. So once I get those done, then I'll get back to them. I will.
Yeah.
I want to. Woken Shadow, thank you for the sub.
Thank you. Let's see here.
Hold on. Woken Shadow has a question. It says, setting up my streaming room, advice for lights or lighting.
Okay. So my setup is such a mishmash. The easiest thing I have that you can see is I've got up here, sort of off to the side, I've got like a $6 blue floodlight that I think I got at Walmart. I've got down in my little cabinet here, a red one. And then I've got a red one over there going in that direction. So I've got a bunch of color behind me. Right here, I've got it's like a studio. I think these things cost like maybe like $50 for a set of these like studio umbrella lighting setups. You can get them for like $50 on Amazon.
We got a raid going on right now.
Who's raiding us?
Official WK UK.
What is that? That's cool. Thank you very much. Look, that's a big ass raid too.
That's a large raid. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. Wow, look at us. We stayed around, and so what is this? I'm trying to see what they are. So yeah, I've got that over here, and then I've got like a flood facing the wall over there. So I've got kind of like a stitched together production going on over here.
Cool.
So that's what's happening over here. Let's see here.
I got something kind of like that camera, and I got a ring light right here on my desk, and then I got a LED panel that's pointed up at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I got I'm just like at the corner of my bedroom, so I don't have a whole lot of room.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is kind of what I got now. I'm not really happy, especially when we do our stuff at night with the lighting situation. So I need to work on that. White Brownie asked, "Wonder if Larson has ever gotten to an argument at Guitar Center?" No.
Oh, this sounds familiar. The Whitest Kids You Know. I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Man,
that's cool. Thank you so much.
I wonder how we're on their radar. Maybe they had a Guide the Raid and we had a Friendo there. I don't know. Let's see here. Nast says Freaky is coming out and turns Freaky Friday into a horror movie. If you could each Freaky Friday any two wrestlers, who would you choose? So if I'm not mistaken, the premise is we get to inhabit their bodies for like a Friday, right?
Yes.
I think that's.
Oh, Wildman said it was him.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
That's rad. Welcome, Raiders. We're talking about wrestling.
Dead Viney says, explain the stream to the new viewers. Okay. So we're here. We're talking pro wrestling news.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're answering questions from our friendos, our members of our community.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys just asked a question. I was not paying attention. So could you repeat, please?
Freaky Friday.
The Freaky Friday. Okay.
Yeah. If there was a wrestler that you could trade, that you would get, you know what I would do? So who is the number one Twitch streaming wrestling personality? Probably Paige.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So either her, probably her. I would probably trade with her, and then all day long I would be promoting Going in Raw using her Twitch stream. That's what I would do.
I'll say I might end up regretting it, but I'd say Baron Corbin, so I can learn how to grill meat better.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm sure you could probably just look up tutorials for that one. I'm disappointed that you're not like trying to benefit our business, which would be really helpful.
Maybe we can start a meat business.
You and me start a meat business.
Yeah, meat business. People, some brands, some things have like co-branded alcohol. Like WWE has their own wine. Why not? You got Omaha Steaks, Going in Raw meat.
Can I just like inhabit Vince for a Friday?
That sounds miserable.
And no, you get to do what you want to do. Power of attorney. Hand that over to Triple H. Call him, son, come here. I don't know why it's Undertaker. Paul, come here. I'm retiring. Oh, it's today. It's Friday. I'm going to retire. Leaving you in charge of everything. I'm just bringing Jerry McDevitt in here. Sign it all over to the Triple H of the game. Jean-Paul Levesque. Here you go. Sign here. I'm going on vacation.
Once you're out of his body and he comes, he like wakes up the next
day. Too late.
Oh, I'm sure there's legal means to.
And I'll do all sorts of crazy shit to make sure that it can't be reversed. They'll be like, wow, not only did he retire, he signed everything over to Jean-Paul Levesque. Now he's also like violated.
Why did you call him Jean-Paul Levesque? That's not his real name.
That was
just Paul.
That was his name in WCW.
I know, but that's not his real name.
So that's what I think it is.
If he signs everything over to Jean-Paul Levesque, they're like, okay, well, there's someone, I don't know, like in Quebec named Jean-Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
He gets WWE now.
Well, then, better than Vince having it. And I'd have all sorts of like HR violations. Like I'd start installing cameras in like the toilets and stuff. And they'd be like, Vince,
comes back to that.
Vince, what are you doing? Leave me alone. And then I would just have him like, tossed from the company anyways. I start calling up shareholders, like the big ones, and like cursing them out. It's your fault.
Wow.
So that's what I would do. I'd just get rid of Vince. And then we'd all be happier.
Yeah, I guess so.
No. This is what I do. I would give you a shoot interview as Vince McMahon. Larson.
There you go.
I'm ready for a shoot. You're like, wait, let me get Steve. No, don't worry about him. He's an idiot.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. Very well.
I wouldn't tell you who I really was.
Oh, you just call me out of the blue.
Yeah. I'd zoom in because I know the Zoom info. I'd be on here.
there you
You'd be
go.
like, what the hell's going on here? I'd like,
What's
Larson.
going on here?
You'd be so confused. But it would do huge numbers on Twitch. That'd be great. Sign it over to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. There you go. All right. Is that it for the day?
Sure.
All right.
Well, at least till tonight.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We'll be back tonight for our Raw review live at the twitch.tv.Stephen Larson. And this weekend also, of course, we're going to be doing our live reactions to Hell in a Cell.
Indeed.
Maybe you'll win Big Red back.
I'm planning on it, man.
All right. Fair enough. I'm just going to copy all your answers for predictions, so it'll always be a tie. Big Red will always be.
Well, maybe after you do that, then I'll change everything.
Oh, no. Anyways, thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Stephen Larson.